All right. Hello. Welcome back to the channel. It's the Cup Chasers podcast. But that top four race is also heating up. And we've come to possibly the worst ever officiated game I've ever seen. Definitely this season in a absolute just how many games have been awful, atrocious refereeing, but then we see the VAR once again straight rob Brighton, straight up robbed Brighton. I mean, and if you went back and watched these highlights, Tottenham did not deserve this game, not even close. And I'm not just saying that because I hate them with everything I have. Uh,
Yeah.
Brighton Brighton were the better team. Brighton scored 3 goals, in my opinion, 3 perfectly good goals. Um, I mean, and the PGMOL have already come out and said they messed up the Matoma goal. They've already come out and said that this was. Did y'all see these 2 goals that have been called back? One of
I
them,
saw the one they called a handball.
yeah, well, they called both of them a handball. Both the
They did.
goals that were pulled back were because of handball. Firstly, or the third goal that was the second goal that was called back, so it would have been Brighton's third goal. McAllister is spinning to try to get out of the way, and his arm is tucked into his body, and it hits him, and from one angle it looks like it hits his hip, and it's a deflection that causes the goalie to miss, and they call it a handball, which. And again, I didn't get to see 97 replays like they normally do in game. I only saw the highlights, but it didn't really look like it to me. But that wasn't the big one. The big one was Matoma with his shoulder. Perfectly good goal. I don't know how they pull this back. This is just
Home cooking.
I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know about this one. It really leaves a sour taste in your mouth. You know, the referees, man, it's been poor. It's been absolutely horrifying all
It's been
season.
bad. It
And
feels
this,
like it almost feels like they use it seems like the field refs are using VAR as too much of a crutch. Like, oh, I'm not going to make that call. Like, they'll just call it back. It's like,
Yeah.
nah, bro, no. Like,
you still
we got
got
hacked, right?
I mean, you've got people scoring goals and they're celebrating, and then the flag goes up for offsides.
It's such a turn of emotion, right? Soccer's an emotional game. Like, football's an emotional game.
And I'm telling you, VAR. I was saying this before we jumped on. I was talking to Jake about it, but like, if you are the video assistant referee and you can't get it right by looking at a replay, you have no business being in the position that you're in, because you obviously don't know the rules of the game.
Yep.
You can't take video and say, "Oh, that's a handball." Oh, this guy's offsides. I mean, it shouldn't take as long as it does, and it shouldn't be where every week we're getting an apology of, oh, the VAR ref screwed up. And I didn't mention this during our Chelsea segment, but there was a clear handball in the Chelsea match, and they looked at it and still didn't consider it a handball. But his hand's in an unnatural position, and it goes back to the Souček handball against Chelsea when they played West Ham. Those are important decisions. We're talking about a league where there's tons of money involved, and it could be the difference between a team being able to grow, like say a Brighton, who now, if you look at the table, if they had gotten 3 points or a point even, they still have a really good shot at top 4. This really affected them.
Arsenal Brentford game. Do I need to mention that Arsenal should still have 8-point lead? Oh, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
Well, you get what I'm saying, though. I mean, there's so many situations this season where VAR has gotten it wrong. And then
exactly in the Tottenham game.
I mean, the dude gets thrown to the ground and they score a goal, and they don't even call a foul on that. I mean, and it's not like it's anything that it's like, oh man, that's gray area. No, there's no gray area with these decisions that they're missing.
Right.
I mean, it's clear decisions, and it really comes into the question of where is the integrity of the game? Where can you believe that this is not fixed? I mean, truthfully, how can you believe it's not fixed?
That's what VAR leaves the openness to. It takes the on-field game happenings into we can change it again. Let me connect all the dots for you. It's
Did you buy that? Go ahead, Lewis.
Well, this is my shark. So
Yeah, I love it.
Is it blue because you're saying Man City are the blue shark coming up behind us? Is that what that is?
I'll go with that. I mean, I just got the shark because he looked happy. But but the point being, I remember sending you guys, it might have been the day or the day before, the article about how much the referees get paid. Mm-hmm. And I think that matters because I think it affects the quality of person that you get and how much they care. Now, I'm joking. I'm not accusing anyone of getting paid. But I think when Patrick says it's taking a long time, which I do agree it takes a long time, I think they're just pending how much grease they want their palms to have when they do that. Is it going to be super oily or is it going to just be a little oily? And then you kind of go from there because there was I think there was a play in the Arsenal game where it looked like it was a foul. It was either a foul or something that was there. And I'm like, I was like, VAR is going to call that. And they just kept playing. And I'm like, dude, I know I saw what I saw. And especially since the team, and this is what makes it worse, is that the stations and the broadcast replay the stuff so we can see it. So we see it the first time. And you're like, hey, man, that looks like that's a penalty or a foul or something, right? An infraction. And then they play it again. And you're like, well, yeah, it was. And nothing. And then you hear the commentators say, the color guys are like, yeah, well, VAR is going to look at that. And then they just ignore it, which means I think someone gets on the set and say, hey, cut that out. Don't talk about that anymore. And then they don't. And you're like, but wait a minute. You thought it was too. So I don't know. All I know is that my shark is happy and that VAR can be better because I don't know how you can watch a video in slow motion that can 360 turn and somehow you miss it.
Yeah. Yeah. At least they're consistently awful.
Yeah, this is true.
At least it's consistent with how bad it is. Two more points I want to make about this game, and firstly, the first one, yeah, I just can't stand Spurs. But Heung-min Son, 100th goal, first ever Asian player to make 100 goals in the Premier League.
Park Ji-sun never hit 100 goals.
Nope. Because he went to Dortmund before that, right? I think he left United and went to Dortmund.
He left.
But he was good. He was good.
Great.
Yeah,
Holy cow, that's good
though.
for Son, though. No, he wasn't a scorer. He was a great midfielder.
But Son's having an absolute dog crap
season. Yeah,
and this was bang. I'll give him that. It was a fantastic goal.
His window was closing though, because I know we made a comment about his dad said he needs to leave, and he kind of does because I don't know what the window's closing on who would want him.
Yeah, I guess it was definitely a good goal. He's definitely a goal scorer. He's definitely got it, even though he's been terrible this season, which is odd. But the other thing in this game, which I thought was great, was started before the game even started, and I think it's because Stellini, the interim coach for Tottenham, made the comment in the week. He said that Brighton are only where they are because of Graham Potter. And so before the match, when the coaches come out onto the field while everybody's warming up, De Zerbi was already in dude's face, was already letting him know, yo, don't even, bro. Don't be talking like that. Who are you again? Who are you again? We don't even know who you are. So don't be talking trash like that. And what was that, like the 50th minute? It all popped off.
And he got
And,
his red card.
Both of them got red cards.
what was so great about it? What was so great about it is Stellini wasn't even doing anything.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah,
He was just standing off to the side.
I heard later that they both got reds for not controlling their team, their staff, and that's why Stellini was sent off because he stood there and he didn't do anything. And right, he didn't do anything wrong, but he didn't like stop his own players and coaches from also getting into it. But I know De Zerbi is a Italian, and you expect that from Italian guys, but whew, I didn't know he had that fire in him that he was just gonna, but unprovoked before the game, just start putting his finger in people's face, like, hey, you watch it, and then all throughout the match, they were up again, and then both get sent off. While I was watching I was watching, I actually watched Newcastle and Chelsea at the same time during this 10 a.m. window, and on Peacock it kept popping up the scores on the corner, and it's like, wow, the Tottenham game is 10 aside, 10 man. Before I saw any of the highlights, before I knew what was going on, I was like, they both went down to 10 men. What a game! I'll have to go back and watch. That's crazy, But that's why we love the league. There's always drama, always craziness, and as much as I hate to say it, that's a massive win for Tottenham. Who
It is. It keeps them close to top 4.
I didn't expect them to win another game this season. I guess if you're gonna grease those VAR palms, you're gonna get one at home. But sad story, I think.
Right. I think they'll beat Palace later on, but the next couple ones I don't see them. They'll be Bournemouth.
Speaking of Palace.
Yeah, speaking of Palace, I don't know, man. Roy Hodgson, 2 games, 2 wins. And did anybody expect 5 goals from Palace without Wilf Zaha?
Yes,
no, I'm
we went back and forth on it being 1-1.
I mean, this game was crazy because Leeds were the better team for 35 minutes. They were the better team for 35 minutes. Yeah. Before the like, Palace scored right at the end of the first half, which is like one of the best times to score. They scored their first goal then. And I know I've talked all kinds of trash about Patrick Bamford, and he managed to score in this game. Maybe that's why they just shut off after that. But it was one-way traffic in the beginning. And I guess, obviously the goal changes the team talk, but Roy probably got into him at halftime. And Jordan Ayew is the first time he's ever scored a brace.
3 assists for Elise.
Yeah, I personally like Edouard up top for Palace. I love Eze. Elise, like you say, had a fantastic game going forward. Leeds just forgot that they were still playing, I guess.
Well, you said that Weston McKennie just got absolutely abused in the midfield.
It was terrible. That might be the worst I've seen him play, including some of his poor performances for the U.S. It was bad. Weston McKennie was not good in this game. I hate to say it. I like the guy. I don't have a problem with him at all. I don't think he's the greatest, that's ever played the game. He's definitely not Casemiro.
No one is Casemiro.
No one is Casemiro.
But
we should play a fun game each week. What former Chelsea Academy player scored this week?
The best.
Mark Gay, Gia, what is it? Guehi. He scored. Patrick Bamford scored, and then Elise was in the Chelsea Academy as well.
Oh goodness!
But no, there's a
doing big things.
One of the things that was funny about this game was I saw a when Gia scored, he's over celebrating, and Elise comes up and he like lets someone have it, and you should see the look on his face when Gia hears me. He's like, did he really just say that?
That's awesome. I'll have to go
It's
back
great.
and look at that.
You will. Seriously. He's just got this weird look like, did he really just say that? Someone said that he was letting the wheelchair section of the fan side of this of the Leeds section have it, which would be even more funnier if you think about
Nice.
it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, just what a performance in that second half from Palace. And again, they have slipped into the relegation fight, but that is a massive. I mean, it's. I mean, I personally think that they'll push on from this, and they won't be.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're only 6 points out of it, but they are the front runners in the relegation fight. I think they're more likely to catch Chelsea than they are to drop back down.
Well, I think isn't the standard like 40, 42 points is really safe, and they're on 33 right now.
33, yeah.
Yeah. With what, 9 to go?
But half the table haven't hit 40. Half
Yeah.
the table has not hit 40 points yet.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess that means 40 is going to be the safe spot.
Yeah. I definitely think if you get 40 points this season, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you look, Chelsea's 39, Fulham is 39, and then there's a 6-point gap between there. So I think 40 will be the cutoff.
Yep.
So why is it working with Hodgson? I mean, I know new manager bounced, but what is it about him that is like unlocked something for them?
Experience, I guess. I mean, I guess he just comes in and he knows. I mean, what's he, 75? So he's got experience in every aspect of the game, and I think that one part of coaching that goes uncelebrated is man management. Getting the best out of certain people, and you could tell. Elise looked like he was there for it. Eze, finally gets a start. Patrick Vieira didn't like starting Eze for some reason that I have not been able to figure out. Maybe he's too much like Zaha, and he always thought Zaha was better, but Eze's performed better in the last 5, 6, 7 games. I think he's been better than Zaha. So maybe Roy's just like. He's got, he knows what he wants to do. He knows, maybe, I guess this is a little bit of back to basics. Palace have had real issues with consistency and fluency in their game, but they've got the players. They've got a good team, personally, I think. And, maybe that's what it was. Roy was just able to get the right performance out of each of the players, given the right person, the person that's in form, the start and the minutes, and it just all come together. Again, I'm still surprised. I can't remember what they said, that Palace haven't scored 5 goals in some ridiculous long time.
I did see. I want to say I saw this in one of the highlights I was watching. But Palace has pulled back 17 points from losing positions this year.
Only
the best in the league, I believe now.
Even better than Arsenal, yeah.
That's crazy.
Big. But conversely, what an awful performance in the second half from Leeds. That's not good. That's not good. And I think what team was it that their next 4 matchups, it's all relegation teams? No, it's not Leeds. Never mind. Yeah, it's not good for Leeds because they got to play Liverpool next, then go to Fulham before, and they still have to play City later on. But yeah, the game for Leeds is going to be the Leicester game and the Bournemouth game. They got to have those. I think they'll be all right. I think Leeds might be okay. Just barely. I think it'll be another case of they're not the worst. They're not the worst, but
Yeah.
it's going to be tight. It's going to be
Yep.
tight. They can't afford another 5-1. They can't afford another performance like that.
Mm-mm.
Definitely not going to be good. I think that this has already been possibly the best season in my memory. Because all over the board, all over the table, it's 12th to 20th, all relegation danger. And to hear X tell it, Chelsea still have a shot at a European spot.
Yes. Yes,
So-
we do. Super
11
Frankie Lampard is going to roll us out the rest of the season.
I'm just saying, like 11,
14
11th
points.
11th to 6th is 8 points. And there's still 8 games.
So I'm
so
saying, man,
that's-
2 weeks makes all the difference here.
Yep. It's all happening. It's all heating up. And as we know, that title race is going to be incredible. This run-in is going to be amazing. I'm pumped. I'm
Hot
excited.
talkies, man.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I'm excited. If you're as excited as I am, go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and get the notification bell
Please.
on. We'll be seeing you very, very soon. Thanks for being here. I know I've enjoyed it. I hope you have as well. Thanks for all those listening out there, and have a great night.
Bye, guys.